glad we're doing this. Here we are. We're
Yeah, me
live on YouTube.
too.
It seems like I don't know. I've been at this. I'm in a really. I'm in a new place, I guess that I would say, and my content, why, what I'm putting out, why I'm putting out. I'm seeing all this stuff, and it's right. I came. I don't know if you remember last time, like talking, but I came from Christianity. I came from that
Yeah, I remember you
dogmatic
telling me.
Christianity,
Mhm.
and not that I have nothing against it. But it's also, I mean, the Bible is a book of prophecy of timelines, and
Mhm.
here we are in these shifting timelines.
Yeah.
Do they supersede the law of free will? No, and yet I'm seeing a lot of what the Bible prophesies coming to fruition, coming
Yeah.
true. So
Mhm.
it's all bizarre right now. It's all shifting. It's just a bizarre time. So I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm glad you're on. I love
Yeah.
you. I love your energy. I love
Thank you,
what
bro.
you bring to the world. And so, sis, how are you? Tell me what's been going on in your world since
Oh my
last time
God,
we talked.
where to start? So many things happening as well. I've moved to the countryside, as I've been sharing with you. I'm living in a different province here in Argentina, up in the mountains.
Hmm.
And the energy here is very different. The province where I'm in, it's called Cordoba, and it's meant to be one of the energy centers of Latin America. So it's very, very powerful. And funny thing is that I never thought that I would come and live here because I've never felt drawn to this place before.
Mm-hmm.
But last year, around September, I had something going on within me that said, you gotta go now. Like, it didn't give me any time to think about it. I just had to do it like on the spot. And a couple of months from then, I got on a plane with a bag with a couple of clothes in it and a couple of shoes, and I came here, and here I am.
How
You
far
know,
away from where you were living?
well, that's 1 hour by plane, so it's in
About five
kilometers. It's
hours.
like 700 and a bit more kilometers away.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's the distance,
Wow.
approximately. Yeah, and it's very different, and it's very much aligned with the thought of living in a community that I used to have
Mm.
while we were in the pandemic back last year. And because I was thinking all the time about being in a place where I could, talk to people in a normal way, interact as if we were all part of the same, of this unity consciousness,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And I found that here.
Mm.
People here are very open-minded. They are very much of service of one another. If you need something, you know that at least one or two of your neighbors are going to show up and give you a hand. And
Beautiful.
that's the way people are here. And to me, that's gold.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know why? Because I was brought up with that mentality.
Mm.
And back in Buenos Aires, it's a very big city, and it's basically like I don't know, like a concrete jungle or something. And it's not easy, especially in these times. We were told by our, the ascended masters and the spirit guides that these times were going to be very difficult for people living in cities, because that's where all of the structures
Power
in
grid.
society
Yeah.
were born,
Yeah.
and now they are starting to crumble. And that we received as a message, many of us.
Mm.
So I feel that this message that I got of getting out of the city had to do with this, because of my life mission as well.
Yeah.
Ever since I got here, I've been working a lot on my channel, and getting much more information to share with people, and I've been much more of service than when I was back in the city.
Mm.
So I know I'm in the place where I'm meant to be, so that I can support as many brothers and sisters as I can,
I love that. It's
from a
beautiful.
different perspective, from a different standing point.
How's your
So,
relationship with the earth changed since you've moved to the mountains?
oh my God. I've always been very connected to nature, but now it's like we are pals. You know?
I
I
love it.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I feel a very, very strong connection with everything, the trees, the birds, the climate as well. It's like I know when it's going to rain. I just know. I know when there's going to be maybe not an earthquake, but some movement, because this area has a bit of movement, as you can call it.
Yeah.
And I know I'm very, very, very connected to it, and it's amazing because it has changed like the way that I live my day.
Mm,
It's like I'm much more connected to the natural rhythm of
mm.
the earth now, in every sense possible.
That's so
So,
beautiful.
and I've also changed my diet. I've been a vegan for many years, but now I'm eating much more raw food than before,
Mm.
for example, and my energy levels have increased a lot. And I'm in the sunshine as much as I can, and it's very different, very different, and I feel younger. This year I turned 41 and I feel like I'm 18 or something. It's like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know the energy in my body changed,
Hmm. Yeah. Yesterday,
and
last.
the way that I
Uh-oh. Are you there?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, sorry. I don't know what happened there, but
Yeah, I'm here.
last night I went on a hike with my family, went to this waterfall up in the mountains, and there
Right.
were first growth trees that were still alive and standing, and just these massive,
Wow.
gargantuan trees. And I told my wife, I was like, I think I call these the monk trees. These
Right.
trees have held the wisdom, but you have to go all the way up into the tops of the mountains to hear their wisdom.
Yeah.
And there's something right now with the earth. And this is why I don't know, struggling, but I'm wrestling through all these belief structures and belief timelines. And
Yeah.
if technology didn't exist, we wouldn't have any force foresight into what the matrix system wants to do. And I look at religion, specifically Christianity, where I've come from, and it's infiltrated all the natural world and told the natural world what's going to happen in the matrix system. And oddly, a lot of it has come true, but in nature, the earth is not concerned with this facade.
No.
Everything returns back to this earth, whether you want to resist it or go with it. We are
Yes.
all in this connected sphere, in this beautiful
Yeah.
connection. So it's really beautiful to hear that you are changing. And I'm just talking today. I'm like, I don't even know where I am. Everyone listening, I've been in quite the journey, emotional journey, spiritual journey, physical journey. Um, we all want peace. We want life. We want love. We want goodness and beauty and truth and all these things. And yet
That's because it's our nature.
it is our nature.
That's living in a natural state.
Mm, yeah.
Not all the stuff that we have been experiencing so far. That's not what's natural to the human being, actually. Being alive, being healthy, being abundant, living in sync with nature, that's what we are.
Yeah.
And I've been experiencing that a lot since I moved here. Like, I mean, I don't think I could go back to a city ever again.
Yeah.
It's that strong.
Yeah. Right. We went to we went so there's 50 states in the United States of America, and we live in one where even this morning outside, a man was walking his dog with a mask on by himself. We live up in a
ridiculous.
mountain. It's so
I know.
It's so heavy. The energy here is so dense and it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to, sometimes I feel angry at these people, feel angry at the system.
Yeah.
Sometimes I grieve for these people and I cry. Like my energy has been all over the place. And yet we went to a different state about a month ago, and it was so free. It was so wild. It felt like the
Oh, cool.
1990s with today's aesthetic. That's how I described it. It was like their economy is already booming again, like it's like nothing ever happened. And I'm in this area where people want to double down on their fear. People want to double down on this anti-human, anti-nature life, and it's really heavy. And I'm in this space
Yeah,
right now where
but
I'm questioning everything. So I love hearing from you. Like, you're never going
yeah.
back to the city.
Oh no, I'm not. Believe me. You know that everything that you are witnessing right now is very much connected with the famous split that people are talking about. You know, it's their own choice if they want to live their life like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's aligned with your way or
Right.
mine in this case.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, but it's their own choice by the law of free will.
Yeah.
And you know, with all of the information that's out there, because no one can say, oh, no one told me about this,
Yeah.
because that's
Exactly.
not true.
That's right.
There's a lot of information out there if you want to see it.
That's right.
If you want to listen, you know, you're not being shown things. You've been shown things all the way.
That's right.
It's up to you. It's up to you. I mean, and on the other hand, I don't feel, and this is a practice that I've been doing, I don't judge those who wear a mask or take the vax or whatever, because I know that they are acting from that place from within that's fearful. You know, they are doing what they can according to the place where they are standing and seeing life.
Right.
It is different from mine. It is different from yours. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but it's their choice. And they decided that by free will. You know, I decided to come here by free will. You decided to do, you know, your work or go to the mountains with your family or whatever by free will.
That's right. That's right.
So we cannot be pointing fingers at each other for that.
No.
Each person is, you know, a microcosm, as they call it, and each person is trying the best they can according to where they are standing and according to the information that they are getting and how they are processing the information. Because that's something else. There are people who have not been able to process all of this information. It's been overwhelming for them. Right. So I'm trying to be as compassionate as I can, because every time I felt maybe anxiety or whatever, I expected those around me to support me, you know, and I'm trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I never lie about my points of view. I never do that because I'm not going to.
Right.
But I can understand where certain people come from when they make these decisions, you know. And this is what's been shown to us. The split is for real.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who are choosing to live in a certain way and other people that are choosing to live in a very different way. And it's what's right for them.
Right.
You know, I mean, when we talk about awakening, it means that it doesn't mean that we are not all going to do so at some point. Right? This is some information that I've also been receiving from my guides, and that I've also seen online on you know, many authors and teachers and stuff. But each one is ascending at their own speed according to their soul level and according to the decisions they are making step by step, day by day. So it's not, you know, it's not something that can be speeded up.
Right.
I can see so many people posting, oh, come on, sheep, you need to awaken. No, dude, you're judging.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go. You're not, I mean, it's not in your hands to do that. You can put out there and set the example for people to see what can be possible for them. You know, but I don't think it comes out of love to try to impose your ways onto other people. That does not come out of love. You know, and if we want to be living in a different life, like 5D and above, as we are all, you know, trying to get there, judgment is not part of 5D. Criticism is not part of 5D.
Duality is not part of 5D.
Duality is not part. Duality is very, very, very much connected to the 3D.
Yes.
That's where we descended to the 3D to experience duality and then create this change so we can ascend again. That's what happens with humanity. When we were part of Source, when we were, you know, spirit, and we incarnated, when we chose, but again by free will, to come to this earth and to experience the 3D matrix, it was so that we could experience duality, and then again through free will, we decided which way to go. Right? Gaia has already ascended. Now it's up to us. Each one will do it in their own time, as I was saying before, to get there. You know, obviously, the more we do it, you know, it's better for everyone because we are all connected, right? But it has to be out of free will, because otherwise we are intervening with the divine, and that's not it. We are doing the same thing as the 3D people or the governments or whatever, or the ones in power have been doing with us. That's also control. That's also becoming, you know, someone that's trying to impose things on other people. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You know, it's another way of controlling. You have to be this, you have to do that. That's control. That's trying to manipulate people.
That's right.
You know? So when we go into our 5D mindset, that does not exist. We can set the example by the way that we interact with the world, yes. Yeah. But if we start imposing things onto others, then that's not 5D. That doesn't come out of love, of unconditional love.
That's right.
Right? I had to deal with this with my parents, for example, because my dad got the virus. He just had a few symptoms, but then he wanted to get the vax as well, you know. And first I got very upset, but then I said, you know what? If that's what you feel is for you, then do it. I'm no one to tell you, you know, what you have to do or not to do. It's your life, it's your decision, and I'm no one to tell you don't do this or do that. Who am I? You know, I'm not God. I am an extension of God. Yes, but I'm not. It's not up to me what you do with your life. That's your decision. And out of love, I can say, this is my view, but I'm never going to tell you what to do. You know, I said it. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, no. I had this idea the other day that somewhere on this planet is the very last person who will choose to be part of the matrix or to leave the matrix. It's a fascinating idea that somewhere right now there is the last person to choose. And I think why the timelines keep shifting and what we're like, where are we? What are we on? It's because there's like love is saying, not yet, not yet, not yet. And as soon as that person chooses,
boom. Right.
I get
you
chills
know,
thinking of that.
yeah, but you know what? We've already chosen.
That's the irony. We've already chosen. We're just coming here to express our choice. Yes, we've already chosen, which is why I think religion, which is why trying to convince someone differently. I love what you're saying. If that's your choice, choose.
Yes.
You've already chosen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in an area that's bizarre. The energy is to force other people to choose. And my warning to people that are forcing their will onto another is that the pendulum swings harder back every time, but this time it's going to swing with the blade of an axe. And I don't want it, so don't push it, and because it's going to come back. And it's not like, this is where I'm wrestling with these times and this shifting. And then I feel there's a war coming, as much as I feel there is heaven coming, as much as I feel the 5D earth is coming. I also feel this like battle. It might just be in me, I don't know, but I also know that the pressure is building.
I don't think it's in you. I mean, if you look around, something warlike is happening already everywhere. Look at the Middle East.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Look at, I don't know, brothers and sisters not having, at this point in time, not having food or drink or medicine in Africa, for example.
It's so sick. It's so evil.
I know.
Is. I look at this stuff, it makes me, this is where I get angry. Like, you're worried about a 99.97 survival rate, and people are dying of, it's like it's so twisted, this whole matrix system. This is where I've been my frustration lately.
It's their goal. When you realize it's their goal and you start connecting to what you can do to support other people who are in need, for example, I'm going to tell you a story. When I came here, there were a few people in an area that's quite poor, that stopped receiving from, help from the government. And you know what the people in this town did? Everyone, including myself, we all collected food, clothes, water, medicine, and all that. And we went there to give this to the people.
Yeah.
Right? There's this new place that opened not long ago, which is like a food truck area. And every Sunday, they cook meals for an asylum of old people. You see? Right now, I'm connecting with them, and I'm going to start doing free meditations so that people donate for addicts that are recovering. So everyone is trying to do what they can as a community, and that's what I love about this place. It's like it. I mean, we have been going back to phase 1 again many times. I think that next week we're doing the same thing again. But you know what people did last week when the president from Argentina, he imposed on us phase 1 of quarantine again for the 100th time, basically, last week. And you know what all of the people from the shops downtown did? They all went to the town hall to protest peacefully, and they were allowed to open their shops, no matter what the president said. And I applaud them, because peacefully they protested so that their rights, were returned to them, and they could do their work, because they have families, they have businesses and everything. And everyone got together. That's what I loved. Everyone got together, and peacefully they went to manifest what was in their minds, and that was right for them. And I feel that that's brilliant. They united. There weren't people thinking differently. Everyone in the town, they all went there, and they all said what they had to say in a peaceful way, and demanded what they deserve, which is to be able to do their jobs, to live. To live. And that's the way it should be everywhere. That's the way it should be everywhere. Stop also taking whatever is being imposed on people.
Right.
You know?
Well, I also wonder if this is allowed to happen from the universal's perspective and for people to unite and to say no more. When we say more,
that's
it's
the
done.
goal.
I've always felt like when we say, if we all say no,
that's
then
the
it's
goal.
over. It's over. The minute we say no, it's over.
Yeah,
but
game over. Exactly.
One at a time here and there, sprinkled doesn't work. It has to be a collective voice.
Yeah.
But where I am in the world geographically, it is.
You don't want to go to Buenos Aires.
Cry. I really could cry. I feel such sadness. I feel such sadness that we've forgotten the visceral exhilaration of life. And to, the movie Braveheart, where William Wallace says, all men die, not all men truly live. And I look around and say, don't you want to live? Don't you want to know what it feels like to viscerally overcome? Yeah. This is not living hedging against death. Living is living.
Yeah. It's not dying.
Exactly right. That's not living.
Yeah.
And I feel like this whole system, and then I look at religion. I am in this, I don't know if I'm venting right now. I don't know where I am energetically. It's like religion.
Do it because you're purging. It's good.
I'll tell you what Christianity is saying right now. And I would love to get your perspective. The Bible literally says that there will be a falling away at the end, that even the very elect will be deceived. So now I'm wondering, okay. And it also says in Malachi that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So God tells his own people, you will be destroyed for lack of knowledge. Well, knowledge of what? Well, here we are in the last moments of this age, which is shifting and changing and transitioning. And I look at religion, and I'm specifically speaking about Christianity. I look at Christians who are just blindly doing what they're told by their social psyop every Sunday, 52 weeks a year. Go and get this message of community and love and this softness. When I look
at, do the opposite.
They do the opposite. They live in fear. They profess love. They live in fear. They profess truth. They coerce with lies. They profess this. They live that. And then I also don't want to be part of that deception. So now I'm like, okay, I see what it says. It says in Revelation 13 that no man will buy or sell anything unless they have the mark. Well, here the world is taking the mark, and no one says, well, this is not the mark. But it is the mark. It is the mark. I don't care if anyone wants to argue with me on this. It is the mark. And yet, I don't understand how people don't see this. I don't understand. And yet, this is, I'm just expressing. Thank you, sis, for holding the space for me.
No worries.
I have been in wrestling and I've been all these things. And then I'm like, am I right? Does it matter to be right? And I don't even want to be right. I want to walk in truth. But what is true? I, at this point, can't say. The only thing I know is true is what makes us free.
Right.
That I could say, I feel good. Like, okay, truth does make us free. So any of the things that are being espoused by these religions, by these governments, by these education system, monetary system, they don't make us free. Therefore, they're not true.
Yeah, true.
But then where is true? Where truth? Where is the natural human to say this earth belongs to the earth? It's like we are of this natural order.
Well, you know what? First, the thing that came to my mind when I was listening to you is when you feel angry and anxious and all that, when you start setting the example of what you want to see around, you will feel better because you are not connecting to the anger that the circumstances are generating within you. You are embodying what you want to see. So you're connecting to your inner voice. You're not connecting to the outer voices, you see? And to me, that has helped me a lot. Every time I got angry before I came to this inner state, which took a lot of work, I'm not gonna say no, because it did. But you know what? I started showing what was true for me with actions. So, oh, you're not wearing a mask. No.
Right.
Am I telling you to wear your mask or not to wear your mask? No. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, oh, but you are always giving. Yeah. Why would I have to, for example, let me tell you a story. I have a neighbor, her name is Alcida. She comes from Patagonia, right? And every time we have, extra food that we cooked, we share with each other, for example. If we go out and we go to get our groceries, hey, dear, do you need anything? I'm going to the grocery store. I'm setting the example of what I want to experience from people around me.
Yes.
And it's the little things that count. It doesn't matter how, according to our minds, how big it is or how small it is. The thing is that to do it, you do what you are able to do now. If you feel that you can show through the example something that is very connected to your truth, to your nature, then that's the way to go. And it's going to allow you to feel at peace because you're doing the best you can to show the world that it is possible.
Yeah.
You're showing a different perspective through your actions.
Right.
Right. And that's going to allow you to feel better because you're not going to be connecting to the rage and all these things that come, from experiencing and seeing everything that's happening around. You're connecting to your true nature, which is being a generous man, being someone that connects out of love with people. That's what's going to make you feel that you have connected to your true nature. At least that's what helped me. I'm not sure if it's serving you, but
no, it's beautiful.
That's what helped me. That's why I'm sharing.
No, it's so beautiful, sister. I
cried a lot before as well. Believe me, I did, because I'm a very sensitive person. I've always been. I'm very empathic as well. So I feel what other people are feeling too. So it was very difficult for me in that sense. But every time I was tapping into that, I reminded myself, this is a practice, I reminded myself, okay, is this serving anyone if I start feeling like crap? No, it's not.
Right.
Who am I serving if I'm in that state? No one. Okay, what can I do to go back to a state that is serving me and everyone else? And then I connected to that and I started practicing it, And that's the way it started to become, my second nature in a sense.
Yeah.
I went back to that state, to that inner, not outer state,
Right.
And through practice, I managed to be more, in balance, not imbalance, in balance.
Yeah.
With what I feel is my true nature. But it's practice, but it's possible. That's why I'm sharing as well my perspective on this. And also you were talking about religion and how religion is, saying one thing and then doing something else. Well, I think I told you in our last conversation that my family, they are Greek Orthodox, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so I went once. I don't remember if I told you this story, but there was this time that I went to a priest, and that they wear all of this jewelry and stuff that it's really, really expensive. And there were, poor kids outside the church with no food, no nothing. And I went up to the guy and I said, "Listen, sir, is there anything that you can do to support the kids that are sitting, at the staircase right outside the church? Because I see that you're looking very neat and very, I don't know how to put it, but you're wearing basically, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in your chains there. Right. And there are people who are they don't have any food and they are right outside your church. Are you doing anything to support these kids? And he just, stared at me. He didn't know what to say and he just left, and he obviously he hated me like big time. But I was very honest. I mean, I could see that, they have all this golden images and, saints all around, and they are, they are painted with gold and, like carved and stuffed with gold pieces and stuff. And I'm like, how can you live in opulence when there's people who have nothing to eat?
Right.
What kind of example are you setting? That's not the religion that I want to belong to.
Right.
At least not me. I don't agree with, someone that's in a church or in charge of a church being considered someone that's above me. I don't think that's right.
Right.
You're not closer to God because you're there. Right. That's your choice. You're there because you chose to be there. But that doesn't mean that you are better or above the rest of people or that you're closer to God. It doesn't mean that. It means that you chose to be there because you wanted to help people remember their God force within. That's the main thing that religion or I'm not sure if religion, but let's say spirituality is a different thing, right? But that's the main goal, that you assist people in remembering the God source force within. That's the goal there. Not that you are saying, oh, you've done this in a wrong way. Okay, go and say 1,000 Hail Marys. No, dude, that's not.
Right.
I mean,
right.
You're a man just like me. It's like. So I've been very. I don't think that I'm the right person to talk about these things with, because I'm very conflicted with religion.
Yeah.
Because there are things that I don't feel are right, so the way that, and I did this thing that I'm telling you when I was 12. So I was a kid, you know?
Well, you knew the truth. I think the thing is,
you have no idea the way my grandmother looked at me. She wanted to kill me.
I bet.
Literally.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe that I went up to the guy and I said, dude, look at that kid there, Right. She was like, Alexia, come here, and I was like, but I didn't say anything wrong. I just expressed what I was seeing,
right. It's it's a fascinating time, because the light bodies, more light is coming onto the earth right now, like never before. And with more light, time speeds up. Everything speeds up, because when things are hot, the molecules move faster. So more light, things are moving quicker. And then there's this leaving the old earth and the split. And this is, how do you think it actually looks like? Like, what do we wake up? I've had wild dreams the past couple weeks where these timelines are like moving like this, and it's pulling, and people are going back and some people are going forward. And been very intense dreams, very intense, that these timelines there's a timeline going backwards as much as there's a timeline going forward or ascending or up or
well, they are all happening at the same time.
Exactly right.
That's the thing.
Exactly right.
And the thing is that it's not that we ascend and we are in 5D constantly. There's a catch to this. That's not how it goes. The thing here is, we need to practice being in 5D all the time, because otherwise we will be experiencing other things. It's a vibration thing. If you stop vibing in that frequency, you go back to the frequency where you were vibing before. So that's why all of the timelines are happening at the same time, because we are deciding every second where we want to be. It's not that we go there and we stay there and no, no, that's not how it goes. It's a practice that we need to be doing constantly. It's a constant decision making of being in that vibration, in that frequency.
Mm.
That's what I've been shown, at least. And I know that there are other people who have seen the same thing, but that's why I always talk about practice, because if we don't practice, we don't naturalize that. So the more we practice these things, the more natural it is for us to vibrate in the 5D or above. Because there are times in which we are meditating or doing, you know, astral projection and stuff like that, in which we go higher than 5D.
Right.
So it's 5D and above. But the thing is that we need to internalize being in that frequency, because otherwise we go back to other lower dimensions, right? So what I've been shown is that right now most of us, you know, naturalized the 4D, and we have some moments of 5D. We are like getting there, you know, but there are people who have not gone all the way to the 4D still, you know?
Right.
So, but it's a practice. Everything is a practice. Right. And the more you practice, the longer you will stay in that frequency. So it's up to us, you know?
Right.
And you've been having really weird dreams because you weren't dreaming, my dear.
Right.
That wasn't a dream.
Right.
You know? It wasn't a dream.
It's been intense. It's been intense.
Yes.
It's been very intense.
Have you had any like physical things going on when you're awake?
I mean, I've had the ear ringings and all of that, but I was talking to my wife about this. I put on a lot of weight the past like 6 months. I feel like I'm carrying this heaviness. And so I got a standing desk. I'm standing and talking to you instead of sitting and talking. But it's been, I feel like I was at such a high state. And I still feel I'm a high state. It's really not that I'm not in a high state. It's that I'm seeing things come to fruition that may or may not be the truth, which is a bizarre thing. And let me explain it like this. The book of Revelation in the Bible explains specifically that the entire global system, monetary system, will be set up and that no man will buy or sell anything unless they take this mark, which I very well see. Okay, I see how that's happening. I also see that people could be deceived that the Bible talks about the beast that rises from the sea. And I see this movement of JFK Jr. might come back. A lot of people believe that. Well, where did he die? In the sea in 1999. You upside down 999, you get 666. Nine's an illusion. It's been 9 years since 2012. Nine's an illusion because whatever you add 9 to returns back to the number. 4 plus 9, 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. 5 plus 9, 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So 9 always takes you back where you start. So all of this I'm looking at, I could see how there's even another thing that's going to happen where people drop their guard and I'll go into the system versus the system is the problem. The fact that there isn't, this is why I love that you're in the mountains. This is why it's the very fact that there is a system for humans to submit to or be under. It could even be looking like the greatest thing, like, oh, we've done away with this system. Here's the new system. No, no system. That's where I'm at right now, where what does the world look like if an EMP got detonated or the solar flash comes and all electronics go away? First of all, what a terrifying thought for 90% of humanity would die. Sadly, would die. Sad. And isn't that the natural state of this planet? We keep thinking, oh, new technology, greater technologies, maybe. But what if not? What if this whole, and this is where I'm at right now, what if this whole wanting the next, the new, the thing is from a universal perspective, part of this great
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You see, and I'm not, you see where I'm at? Like,
Yeah.
I could totally see, I read about Nasara Jasara, where everyone gets, well, isn't that communism at a level globally? Isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, of course. So like,
I think so.
but what if, and then I think, well, what if communism's the imitation of the truth of what could be? Okay, well then that possibly. But you see, this is where I'm at right now. I am questioning literally
but it's a good thing that you're questioning.
everything.
It's a good thing that you're questioning everything, because when you question, you find your truth.
Yes.
So it's a good thing.
I am literally, sister, I have questioned. I've gotten to the point where I'm even thinking, is the Bible the greatest psyop ever written? Or what if it's the quantum rule book for this quantum game? And just because it says it comes in the name of the protagonist doesn't mean it's the protagonist. It could be the antagonist dressing up as the protagonist. And the only way we would know the difference is to see, how do we feel? Does this bring peace? Does this bring joy? Does this bring love? Does this bring goodness?
That's it. That's it. And I'm going to be very controversial with what I'm going to say, but
oh, please bring it. It's all good.
I'm sorry, but what happened before the Bible?
Totally.
Hello.
Exactly.
What happened before the Bible? Who wrote the Bible?
Babel, you mean? Like Barak, Babel, Kabara. It's all the same.
Yeah, say it.
Magic. It's the same magic. And they're playing these spells on us over and over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped reading the Bible a long time ago because the way that I see it, and I'm going to be controversial again, is that it's been written by men.
Yeah.
And through their own eyes. You see all of the books of the different apostles.
Yep.
It's their views on how they experienced, from their perspective, each thing. And I want to experience my own thing.
Yeah. Why are you not the apostle of your belief? Exactly right.
Yeah. I had this thing inside saying to me, my inner voice, not this thing, my inner voice saying to me, you don't need to read in order to become that which you are looking up to. We look up to a God figure, a saint figure, an apostle figure, whoever. We don't need to, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay. I got that message, and then I said, fuck, sorry.
No,
this is so spot on. This is so spot on. Why am I doing that? I started thinking, and I said, okay, what can I get from this? And I said, okay, maybe I can, get this thing that we were talking about before, the example from, and then does this, resonate within me, or it doesn't? And I started questioning all these things that you're saying, because I never thought that God or anyone that has been, has had his or her appearance in the Bible, mainly men, I didn't feel that they were separated from me or
right.
above me, or
and
I'm not saying this from the ego. I'm saying this from a place of understanding who we are.
Yeah, who you are.
Yes. And then I had this thing inside that it didn't resonate with me. And I read the Bible many times when I was a kid, and then when I was an adolescent as well. And then when I became a young adult as well. But I was like, this is a perspective, a perspective from a person's point of view or people's point of view who
Right.
wrote this, plus all the versions that you have of the Bible.
Oh, I know. There's more than 500 versions in the English language.
There you go. So it's like, what am I reading, or who am I reading?
Right.
Right.
And you know, also the thing is, though, I love the Bible. It's a weird thing for me.
Right.
And here's where I'm at. We're talking about light bodies. The Bible talks about will be given glorified bodies, the light bodies, that God is light, and in him there's no darkness at all. And those that walk in the light, light means light. Those that walk in the light, as he is in the light, the blood of Jesus cleanses us from all unrighteousness. That's what 1 John 1:9. So then I'm like, well, blood, what is this thing with blood? Why is the deep state world obsessed with blood? Why is the Bible obsessed with blood? What is blood? Because it carries the life code.
Yeah.
It's the coding system of life.
The coding system. Yeah.
And so as we walk in the light, as he is in the light, the Bible talks about the glorified bodies. The Bible talks about these things. And yet I'm also at the point where if I talk to you about the truth, like, here's the truth.
Yeah.
But then I say the only way to get to the truth is to go this other path. We still remember the truth, but it doesn't mean this path will ever take us to it. So we could think like, oh, I'm going to the truth, but it never leads to the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if this, because many times in meditation and on plant medicine and different things, I've seen that this is a game, and that it's like Chutes and Ladders, or it's like Candyland, and that many people at the very end could land on the square and they're by choice and go down. They start at the beginning, which I also feel is like this timelines keep feeling like people are going to go back.
I'm going to ask you a question. What is truth?
What is true?
What is truth? What is the truth?
This is a good question. This is the great question.
Because you know what? Each person has his or her own truth.
100%.
Like, the core of it might be the same, which is the light, which is the God presence within, which is love. That's the core. But then there are so many different paths and perspectives of truth, as you know, as many humans exist.
Yes. And there's no judgment on these. That's exactly like all of our.
What's true for you might in the core be the truth for me, but the perspective from which we are seeing the truth is for sure different. We might have things in common. Is there people asking questions or something?
Yeah. And it's Crabs in. You're right. He said it's good. And I'm not saying the Bible's not true. So this is also another thing. I'm wondering if it's a quantum playbook. Like he said, God said in the beginning, let there be light, and there was light.
Yeah.
And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. So we either are going to walk in the light as he is in the light. We are light. He is light. And he is only masculine energy, which means to give, and that feminine energy, which means to receive. So in the context of God giving is only that masculine energy, but doesn't mean that he's not receiving at all times too, which has been the stripping away of the feminine energy of God.
There are many cultures from the Eastern world which will say to you, how do you know it's a he?
Exactly right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's not a man. Even Jesus said God is not a man, but he is a spirit, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
But how do you know it's not a woman? You don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if we talk about, this is something that I've been talking about with a few friends as well. When we talk about God being a man or a woman, we are not talking about unity. Because if we are unity consciousness, we are everything. It's not one or the other. It's everything fused together with all of its perspectives.
And what does the Bible say? They asked
What does
Jesus,
it
what's
say?
the greatest commandments? And he said, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt love him with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. In this is all the law and all the prophets. Everything that the Bible is contained in is this one thing. God is one.
Yeah.
And we are to
One.
love the one and love one another, because one another is all representative of the one.
Yeah.
And
so the one is unity.
So here's what I've been playing with. People, this is what I've been playing with, is that Genesis 1:1 begins with the word in. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So in. Genesis 2:1 begins with the word thus. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished and all the hosts of them. And then Genesis 3:1 begins with now. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made.
Right.
Which is the 57th verse of the Bible, which is 5G. G is the 7th letter in the English language, 5G. You revert chapter 3, verse 1, you take out the colon, you have 31. You reverse 31, you have 13. So it's the satanic world worshiping the serpent as the new order of the earth. So I think if that's the order, if that's the 57th, that's the 5G energy from Genesis 3:1 to today, I want to go back to the original energy of in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So in God, in light, in love, in truth, in beauty, in goodness, and all this, in this, is all things. It's all one. But if we leave that presence, if we go thus, we will always find the now. Taking us into fear, taking us into coercion and confusion. And so this is why I'm questioning that. You know, if they say where attention goes, energy flows, right? That's true. Where we put our attention, we make more of. So then the Bible says that God wrote his law on our heart, that we have the law of God written on our heart, which is, Jesus said, the law is to love the one, love one another. This is the law. God wrote that on our heart. We're naturally loving, naturally sharing, naturally beautiful beings on this planet. But then why in Exodus does God say, don't kill? Don't do. Is it any different than the war on drugs? Anti this, anti that creates more of. So this is why I'm asking, is it a quantum book for us to see? Was that God speaking? Or was it something coming in the name of God?
There you go.
That wasn't.
There you go.
Genesis 1:1. And this is why I'm questioning. This is where I've been like the past couple weeks, months, questioning.
But can you see? Can you see that you are questioning everything that you've learned so much of?
So much.
Because you know the verses by heart, man. I mean, you know, I mean, this is. I mean, you've repeated these verses and read these verses so much that they are part of who you are. It's one of your structures.
I know.
You are questioning your structure.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It is great. I'm actually loving it. It's also
because you're finding your truth underneath that structure that you acquired. It wasn't inside of you when you came to this earth. You acquired that. So behind that structure is your truth. That's why you need to dismantle your structure. That's why you're questioning yourself so much. That's where you will find your truth. It's not in the structure. The structure needs to come down. And behind that is who you are. You see? There you go. That's why you're questioning yourself so much. It's good that you're doing so. It's really good. I've been doing the same with my whole life this past few months or year or whatever. You know, because why did I the question that I was asking myself was, why did I allow this into my experience? What caused inside of me to allow this to become my truth? I say become because it's not the truth. It's something that became the truth, and that came to me as the truth, you know? And then I started to question these things that I learned from my parents. Are they aligned with who I am? And I started questioning everything that I acquired from the outside. Is this part of my truth? No. Why am I still nourishing that when it's not me? You know? So in every aspect of my life, I started.
Gives me chills.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
We are shifting the energy. That's why you're feeling, what's it called? Like shivers and stuff.
Shivers, yeah.
It's normal. So when we start questioning each one of our aspects, but truly question, you know, with the wish to find the truth, all of the structures that are not part of who we truly are, part of our essence, boom, they are gone. And that's a good thing, because we are returning to our truth.
Yes.
We are returning to point zero.
Yes.
We are removing what has been maybe sometimes imposed on us by our parents, by the society, by our teachers, by whoever.
Yes.
And they need to go, because that's not our truth. It's something that was, you know, acquired. It's not our essence.
Right.
And if we are trying to find our truth, we will find our truth in our essence, not in things that are structures that came from the outside. Never. But we need to have, you know, to have the willpower and make the decision to want to dive deep into that crap. We never know what we will find.
Yes.
We never know, but it's a good thing that we start, you know, facing everything. Fear, lack, self-doubt, whatever.
Yeah.
Go deep into that and understand why you feel like that. Because at the core of that, when you bring it to your conscious mind, then it's gone. It dissolves, because it's not part of your alignment. It's part of your being part of what you are not in truth. It's a lie, basically. It's a lie that you have naturalized, that you've been repeating to yourself over and over and over again, but it's not who you are. And then when you stop doing that, you see what was behind that, which is your truth, your essence. But you had to remove all of this crap that was put there.
Right.
You know? It's like if you go outside and there's a lot of smoke, right? And then all of your skin is covered in smoke, all of it, you know, your face, your hair, and you come back home and you look in the mirror and you said, wait a second, when did I become so tanned? You know?
Yeah.
But you weren't tanned.
Yeah.
It's smoke that you need to remove to see your true skin. This is the same.
Yeah.
But you had to look in the mirror to see it. You know? And then you take a shower and you get rid of all of that, which is not you.
Right.
You're underneath all of that dust and smoke and whatever was floating around, which is external. That's the other part of the message. It's external.
Right.
You know? So when you remove everything that has been imposed over you that's external, you see the internal, and that's who you are. But you had to look in the mirror first, and you had to do the work. You had to take the shower and remove it.
Right.
You know? And there you are.
Loving people, standing in it. Yeah. Sis, I'm so thankful for you.
No, same here. I mean, every time we speak, I don't know, I connect so much with your energy, and it just flows, you know. I just like talking to you. I like talking in general, but you know, I'm a very talkative person. I'm not shy. I've never been shy, but you know, I just like sharing all these things with you and with everyone that's connected on the live. And yeah, this is just having these conversations, which are important for all of us to find our truth.
Yeah.
Maybe something of everything that we've been discussing today will resonate with people.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's it.
And we are not imposing this as a truth. We are just sharing, and we are just showing who we are. And, it's not about imposing, because otherwise we will be doing the same thing that we were talking about before. And that's not the point,
Exactly right.
So,
exactly right.
Yeah.
Sis, thank you so much. Everyone, thanks for
you.
watching.
Thanks, everyone. I'm not seeing you from here, but I know you're there.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful souls, Crabs in and Sergey. Good to see you, brother. And